My role is to provide technical assistance and training to local to state agencies to help people actually implement, to do good, not just to talk about it, but how do we actually have outcomes that make things better off. What we know is that suicide is a huge problem in the United States, but it's a particular issue in the Black community. What we're really looking at is what do we do not in response? Why do we have to wait until someone is broken? What do we do in terms of prevention and early intervention? I was put up for adoption at birth. Both of my parents, who I always call my parents, both college professors at Morgan State University, both African American. My parents thought that the things that are hardest were the things that are most worth fighting for. And that sense of purpose is what drives me. And I think what we have to give our kids is a sense of purpose, not a sense of hopelessness. So there's prevention and there's response. There's what we've done is often response, and we try and get better at treatment. And, we sort of built these temples to treatment and response, whether it's hospitals and mental health institutions and, quite frankly, prisons, and we see those outcomes. And we fail to invest in people, whether it be schools, whether it be neighborhoods. Rebuild communities, social connectedness. Children and adults need one other person, someone to be connected to who believes in them. I had that growing up with my parents and later on in life, friends and family. I think most people who survive and thrive have someone to believe in. It's really asking questions and listening. We communicate most effectively when we're listening, right? Because when you listen, what you're saying is what somebody has to say is important. So many kids that I've worked with, whether they had a mental illness, or whether they were overwhelmed or traumatized, just want to be heard. And so do adults. We have to understand that we meet people where they are, not where we want them to be. And that people are different. And it's really, really hard to know that it's okay to be human, to really appreciate differences and the need for there to be differences. At a really base level, whether it's kids or with adults, probably the hardest thing to do is to pay someone compliments. You would be surprised, and it's a great test to ask kids, tell me something good about yourself. And it's a great test to just see how many kids struggle with identifying something positive about themselves. Smart, intelligent, caring. So many kids can't see that in themselves, but neither can adults. So as you get older, you have to actually make a greater habit of getting outside of your norms and do something different, and then teach that to others to say, what do I need to know today that I didn't know about you yesterday? We all start at different places. My mother was one of 12 in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. She has her PhD. She had a much harder, farther road to travel. She will always be more successful than I will ever be. So as long as you're moving forward, know you're not alone, know where you came from, but know that you've got to go forward. And know that you should never compare yourself to anyone else, but always compare to where you were and where you're going. We talk about mental illness as though it's something different than that person's body. It's the same body. We spend too much time talking about how broken we are, but not enough talking about how beautiful and strong we are, and where are the models for our success. So real change comes from promoting change. If it feels uncomfortable, you're probably doing it right. I would tell you to turn the camera around and look at everybody in here, where people feel comfortable talking about it, where people feel healthy. Mental illness means an illness, not that I'm broken, but that it is okay to be human. So it starts with all of us celebrating who we are, and it's all right. It starts there. It doesn't start with policies and procedures. It starts at the very human level. It takes the work that we're doing right now.